Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to episode 1 of season 2 of Dead End Paranormal Park. Yeah, I didn't want to wait for this, we're just getting to it, and with the fact that I wasn't enjoying at all Devils of Part-Timer season 2 and felt like it was just not going well, I decided, let's just move on from that and get to something that I'm going to knowingly enjoy. So season 1 of this show, I got to not that long ago, but it had actually been out for a little bit before that. And I was very excited about it going in because of, the trans representation, the autistic representation, all of that stuff. It's no secret that I love queer representation in media. I geek out over that kind of stuff all the time. So, obviously, something like Dead End, which stars a gay trans male, would appeal to me. And I watched it and I loved it. I loved season 1 a lot. It's up there with a lot of those animated shows on Netflix that have just done really well for me. Stuff like She-Ra or Glitch Text or Kipo. Stuff that are just really good and, unfortunately, in a degree, underrated. Shows that just don't get the attention they deserve because, well, they're on Netflix. Let's be honest. Shows that are on network TV tend to get more actual traction and attention. Stuff like The Owl House, and that's great, and stuff like The Owl House is awesome, especially for its representation. But stuff like this deserves attention too, and it gets some attention at some points. Like when Kipo came out, and there was this big attention given to it over Benson directly saying the words "I'm gay" in the series, not only giving representation but giving it very directly and not holding anything back. She-Ra obviously got some attention, though there was plenty of negative attention with that too. Glitch Text was super underrated, though, unfortunately. It just never really got much of any attention with a larger audience. And it really sucks that these shows are like this, because there has definitely been a subset of people that have given attention to the first season of Dead End Paranormal Park, but all in all, it's going pretty unnoticed. It's just not doing as well as it should be because, again, it's on Netflix. People a lot of times just don't pay attention to most Netflix shows unless it's something like Stranger Things or one of those other like big live action shows. Animations very often go unnoticed or unappreciated. She-Ra was probably the best of those. It definitely did. Excuse me. It definitely did the best. But it still never reached mainstream, like, consciousness. Not even just popularity, but consciousness. And that sucks. It really does. Because, especially for something like Dead End, which the first season was very good with. The voice acting was great, the storytelling was great, the character work, the representation itself, of course, the art and animation, just the style of it all, and it was wonderful. And there were a lot of really good standout moments. Obviously, my favorite being Norma's "You're My Frankenstein" song. Um, in episode 9, I believe it was. Yeah, I believe it was the penultimate episode of season 1 that had the musical. Um, that was it was so just powerful in its presentation, and with Cody Kavitha's singing. Um, and there's so many other great moments too. Barney and Logs finally getting their kiss. Like, come on, that's awesome. Hell yeah. The big showdown at the end. It's like so much it has was done so well. Even the cliffhanger it left off on with the angel. It's like that's exciting. And now we're at season 2. It hasn't even been that long. But season 2 is released. A perfect month for it to be released, obviously, October. Um, and I know a couple small things about this season, only because it was in the small bit of advertising that I looked at. I didn't really look at any trailers or whatnot, but I did see a couple images and stuff. I know there's like a wrestling themed episode or something, and I know that there's this wrestler guy who is voiced by a real life pro wrestler named Effie, who is gay. Effie, in fact, is kind of one of the biggest gay cons in pro wrestling. And there's other like queer pro wrestlers, of course. There's trans pro wrestler Nyla Rose. Anthony Bowens is gay, and stuff like that. There's plenty of bi wrestlers who have come out in recent years. But Effie is kind of like he's the one, like at least I have always thought of when I thought of like gay pro wrestlers. Because he kind of makes it part of his entire personality and character. Like I believe he has this wrestling show he does called Effie's Big Gay Brunch, and it's just like that's hilarious. I'm not like super knowledgeable about his in-ring skill. I haven't seen much of any matches for him. I might have seen like a clip or two here and there. He's basically just one of those wrestlers I know of. But the fact that he's in this is pretty cool. And there's some other things that I'm really hoping for this season as well. I'm hoping we get more Logs and Barney. I want to see more with their relationship. And I just want to see it like really bloom. I want to see oh god, I can't remember the name. The little hot dog demon dude. I want to see them have actually some kind of role in this season, because in season 1 they were just there for a little gag in episodes. They weren't actually doing anything. But I want to see like them maybe actually take up a real role in season 2. I also want to see Norma and just delve further into the budding relationship she has with her coworker, whose name I also can't remember right now, and I am disappointed by that. You know who I'm talking about, though. The friend she's clearly made, and they've made a notable point of like showcasing that these two are growing closer. I want to see their relationship develop, whether it becomes romantic or not. I want to see it develop. I also want to see more with Courtney, like being part of the squad now that she's, decided to abandon her dreams of returning to hell and actually, had that opportunity to return, but chose to come back instead. I want to see her, like, really connect with the group a lot more. and maybe especially Pugsley. I feel like their relationship has definitely been shown. They've become really good friends. So I want to see more of that as well. And I just want more spoopy fun because that's what this show is great with. But I also want more of the representation side of things. We got some conclusion to the entire thing with Barney's family last season, but I want to see more gone into this. I don't want it to stop there, you know? And kind of the same can be said for other characters. I want to see other characters explore that kind of thing. I want to see more explored with Norma's autism, for example. There's just a lot of things that I'm hoping for, and a lot of excitement I have. I mean, I'm recording this day of release, so tells you how much I've been waiting for this. And yeah, hopefully this ends up being just as good, if not better, than season one. But I have faith that it will be. I genuinely have faith that it will be at least just as good. But all of that being said, we're just going to get into this and hope for the best. So when the screen fades black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, this was an interesting start. We have an angel, definitely looks very different from the other angel we've seen. Like the one we saw at the end of season 1 was very different than this. This one takes the form of an arm and a hand, obviously. And has a face on the palm, and it's like, well, what? Why? Why does it look like this? I don't understand. But we also get a notable amount of stuff with Gord in this episode. With our crew trying to take care of them and send them back to hell, but not really having luck at it. We don't really get any new information. We definitely get new information about Gord, based on what Norma said in her book. Though I have to go back and watch that again to get exactly what all of it was. But like Gord themselves doesn't really do anything new. Just the same kind of stuff. Stupid bug. Same kind of stuff we've seen them do before. So yeah. But apparently, I guess Courtney's saying they're gonna keep Gord. So I guess maybe we'll see more in the future. Now that Gord, I guess, is part of the crew. Maybe, sort of. But we see that Phoenix Parks is under new management from Barbara, who has inherited quite a lot, actually, from Pauline. And now we just kind of have to see where it goes from there. Where is that going to lead? How is that going to affect what happens in the future? I'm sure it will to some degree, but we'll see. I mean, one big thing is that our main crew, our main group has been kind of pushed up to demon cleaning duty, basically. Taking care of all the demons, making sure no more come through, that kind of thing. So that's interesting. And we see that there is a lot more cool stuff blooming as well. We see Barney and Logs just casually as boyfriends and everything. Like, that's just how their relationship is now. And we even see Norma have a notable blush at I still can't remember her name. I don't think it was said during this episode. I really apologize for that. I don't know why it's just completely blanking in my mind. But yeah, we see like when she gets Norma the bowling shoes and all because of Norma's, issues with public shoe rental and shit, which fair. But we see because of that, um, Norma blushes, and it's like that's super cute, and it's like there's definitely going to be something there. Okay, and I really can't wait to see that explored this season. We do see Courtney working with the gang and just being part of the group now and being completely in with them to the point where she even tries to save them in the end. And Pugsley is kind of dealing with the fact that he doesn't have powers anymore, and he's become so used to them that it's hard for him. Plus, he wants to feel useful, and he feels like he can't anymore. Without his powers, he can't do as much, But we see that he's not the only one feeling a little bit inadequate. We see Barney is feeling that as well, as he's not good at bowling, and Logs just happens to be really good. She should be done in a second here, but anywho, and yeah, it's pretty interesting to see how this is starting out. The status quo has been changing a lot, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do with those changes, especially now that I guess Courtney has a parole officer. I want to see more of the stuff with the angels, though, especially with that little bit at the end that showed like they were being watched and everything. That's definitely very interesting. Excuse me. But there's a lot of relationship stuff I want to see covered, and I really like that Norma's found a new hyperfixation now that she's like disillusioned by Pauline Phoenix due to how terrible she was. But now she's just hyperfixated on demons and everything, and it's like that's probably better. As weird as that sounds, that's probably better because I mean they're using it to be able to help the park and everything, and to, fight against these forces of evil and all. So yeah, it's a well utilized hyperfixation here. But yeah, this was a good start. It continued with the same kind of tone and ideas of the first season, and kind of rolled with it, pun intended, making a unique kind of feel that only this show really gives. It continued on with character points and different traits and stuff that we got last season, introduced a new character, at least, with Herc, and brought back plenty of characters from season 1 that are definitely going to continue to be notable within the series. I don't know how big and important they'll be. Like, I don't know how big of a role Barbara will continue to have throughout the season, but we'll see. And obviously there's the big question of, okay, so we have the angels now. Will there be any more demon invasions? Will we see Temalukas and his sister again? There's that kind of big question up in the air too. We'll have to see. And I still wonder if Gord is going to actually do anything else besides just be weird. I really kind of hope so, because Gord so far has just been a running gag of sorts, and I want them to actually have a role to play in the series, because apparently in the comic they do. Apparently in the comic, Gord actually is more of a character. And so I'm hoping that does kind of happen here. But we'll have to see. We will have to see. Either way, tell me your thoughts on episode 1 of Dead End Paranormal Park Season 2 down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.